Coach Corbin plans on traveling to Galveston County, Texas, in July to conduct summer chess camps. He is raising funds for the air tickets, room and board, and equipment. His objectives include planning chess programs in Texas and learning firsthand how the Texas Chess Association has been so successful in building an 11,000 membership base. The first 30 donors receive a free chess book. PayPal donation link is in the description.
Okay, folks, this is Urban Louisville Chess Club, our podcast, and of course, this is Coach, and we have with us a absolutely fantastic guest. I have really worked hard at trying to get this brother on because I've heard so many positive things about the organization, which he's a president of, and I just now learned how to pronounce his name, Mr. Francisco Guadalupe. He is a U.S. Chess National Tournament Director, a FIDE International Arbiter, and international organizer. And, of course, he's the president of the Texas Chess Association. Brother, thanks so much. Taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks.
And I heard that your organization is doing a tournament this weekend, isn't it?
Yes, we are. Actually, it's tomorrow. We have what we call our Texas Scholastic Chess Championships. Unfortunately, as the case may be, normally we have this tournament over the board, as they say, face to face, if you will. And in the last year or so, we have been forced to have most of our major tournaments online. So tomorrow will be online. It's the Texas Scholastic Chess Championships. And we have 767 young players registered. So it'll be a great tournament.
Yeah, it's amazing. 700 plus. And that's just amazing. But brother, I put the cart before the horse. First of all, talk to me about what is the Texas Chess Association, when it got started, the whole bit.
Sure. Yeah. So the Texas Chess Association is the official state affiliate for Texas with the U.S. Chess Federation. So each state has an official affiliate, with the exception that California has two, Northern and South California. And of course, D.C., in as much as it's not a state, they also have a state association. So all those, and the other has only one official state association within the U.S. Chess Federation, who in turn is a member of the World or International Chess Federation.
Okay.
So the Texas Chess Association was started, if you will, back in 1935. So it has served the Texas chess players for now over 85 years. Man. We do tournaments, of course, the official state championships, and I'll name a few in a second. We have a publication, the Texas Knights. We have chess club development. We select, based on our tournaments, the official representative to some of the national invitational events. For example, the event tomorrow, the Texas Scholastic Chess Championships, we have 11 sections, but among those, we have the 9th through 12th grade championship. So you will call that a high school. And what we will do is we'll take the top 6 players in that section, after the event is over. And in less than a month, those 6 players will compete in a round robin to select who will represent Texas at the invitational conducted in conjunction with the U.S. Open for the Denker Tournament of High School State Champions.
Wow.
From the 6 through 8 champion section, we'll do likewise 6 players, do a round robin later, and select the Texas representative for the Barber Tournament of Middle School Champions, State Champions. From the K5 champion section, we'll select the Texas representative for the Rockefeller, that's a relatively new tournament, Rockefeller Tournament of Elementary Schools state champions. And lastly, we'll take the top 6 girls, 2 from each of those sections, and do a six-person round robin to select the Texas representative to the Herring Tournament of Girls State Champions. They also have, among those invitationals, a senior championship, and so on. But because tomorrow's tournament is strictly scholastic, we'll select a field to represent us in a round-robin event to select the Texas representative for those 3 events I mentioned, the Denker, the Barber, and the Herring.
That's amazing. How many individual members do you think you have in the Texas Chess Association?
Okay, so that's a tricky question. Okay, paying members for the TCA, we have over 550.
Okay.
Some of those memberships are family memberships. So I suspect we got over 620 or so. However, as far as U.S. Chess members, in the U.S. Chess Federation that are from Texas, we have over 11,000.
My,
yeah.
It's a small city right there, brother.
So 11,000, and the last figures I saw, U.S. Chess had about 94,000 active members, depending on when memberships may have elapsed or not. Yeah. So that said, you can tell that we got about 1/9 or 11% of the chess memberships in the U.S. Chess Federation.
Wow. Now, I've been to Texas a few times, and in fact, I plan to go down there this summer. Texas is pretty big. You know, at one point it was its own country. Do you think that TCA has saturated the state?
What do you mean, saturated the state?
Do you think that there's room to grow, to bring in?
Absolutely. Yeah. Many years ago, a guy by the name of J.J. Guajardo and company, from what I know, they started a chess program down south in the Brownsville area to develop and promote chess among a certain, perhaps, class, if you will, of young players who didn't have the means to participate in tournaments and so on. And J.J. and company were very successful. And that is where our biggest scholastic population is. That said, if you consider that Houston is larger, there's a lot of room to promote and develop chess in this area. Of course, we got Dallas-Fort Worth area that is huge in chess, but there's still room to grow. I mean, the Dallas area probably has the strongest chess players in the state, probably mainly because there, as you may or may not know, we have University of Texas at Dallas, UT Dallas, and they actually have a super strong chess program. But down in Brownsville, you also have University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley, and they also have a superb program. And right now, they're probably among the best in the country. And in Lubbock, I think it is, you have Texas Tech University. All those 3 universities offer chess scholarships. They have tremendous chess programs, and they're among the best in the nation. So because of those big three colleges, and them promoting chess and, if you will, importing or bringing a lot of chess players to those universities from not only other states, but other countries, we have a lot of grandmasters in those universities, international masters, who in turn help promote chess and develop other young players who, hope someday to be the same.
Man, it's you talk about those 3 major universities that offer chess scholarships. I just wish we can just get one here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Just one. But you guys have 3. And you say they actually recruit people?
Yeah, they do. But then again, they're not the only three. I mean, you have in St. Louis, in Missouri, you have Webster University, St. Louis University, and they also have strong chess teams. In Maryland, you got UMBC that does the same. So this is one of the things that most people don't know. I mean, they know about, they see on TV their football team and basketball team, and to a lesser extent, baseball team or volleyball team. But chess, I mean, who plays chess? I mean, who cares about chess? And if I may, I'll go on a personal story here because I didn't learn how to play chess until late in life by today's standards. The kids learn when they are 6 and so on. I didn't learn. I actually saw my first piece of chess when I was in college, back in Puerto Rico when I was a youngster. And I was studying chemical engineering. Then never finished that degree, went on to business later, but that's another story. But the game intrigued me so much so that I spent a lot of time playing chess and playing basketball and not so much studying. I went to college on an academic scholarship, and within a year and a half, I lost it because of that. And then after that, I went through other routes, and I'll tell you shortly. But my father was very upset, rightly so, that I lost my scholarship because of playing that silly game. Well, I joined the service, and with the GI Bill, I finished college. But I didn't get to play much. I didn't play in tournaments, except while I was in the Army, I played in my 23-and-a-half-year career, I played a few tournaments, and that was it. And I was a rated player, Class B player. But while I was late in my career in the service, I got married and had my 2 youngest kids out of 6. And I taught them how to play chess when they're about 6 years old, like most kids nowadays learn. But to me, it was just a game. It was, I knew that they could make a living, if you will, from chess. At least the chances were very slim, let me put it that way. So I concentrated with them on their education. But one in particular, Francisco II, he had a knack for the game. I used to go to his room late at night, and the light will be on, and it was later. I said, "Well, son, what are you doing?" And he had a book of chess and a chess set on his bed. So I said, "No, turn it off." And so eventually he kept begging me to take him to a tournament. So I did when he was in about 5th grade, finally. And he won his first trophy. He finished in 2nd place, 3.5 out of 4, and got that big trophy. And let me tell you, those trophies get kids excited, but also get dads excited.
Okay, brother.
That's how I got involved in chess, because of him. I started organizing tournaments, directing, taking him to tournaments and all that. That was his first tournament was back in December 2000. Within 2 years, he was the national 8th grade co-champion.
Wow.
And then the next year, he repeated 9th grade national grade co-champion, and did so again in 11th grade. And the reason I mention this is because, what got me involved, because while he was getting involved playing, I got heavily involved in organizing and directing events. The U.S. Chess Federation took notice and invited me to be the chief tournament director of one national event back in 2006. And before I knew it, I was getting invitations like crazy. Eventually, up until 2 years ago, I had directed, been the chief tournament director of 48 national championships. Many scholastic, some adults. That includes being either the chief TD or assistant chief TD for 5 U.S. championships. I started doing international events. I have gone to St. Louis quite often. I have been the chief arbiter for tournament with world-class players, including former world champions Garry Kasparov, Veselin Topalov. In 2016, the international, they used to be called the World Chess Federation, but the International Chess Federation asked me to be the deputy chief arbiter for the World Championship match between Magnus Carlsen, the then and still world champion, and the challenger Sergei Karjakin. So the point is that I have had, from those beginnings, because of my son, I have developed myself as well in the chess world and done many events. I organized the 2017 Super Nationals, where we had over 5,500 players. I organized that one, and the reason I organized that is because for 3 years, I was the director of events for the U.S. Chess Federation. I used to travel from Houston to Crossville, Tennessee, where their headquarters, back and forth. And for a while, when a previous executive director quit, they asked me to fill in for him. So for a period of 6-7 months, I was the second director of the U.S. Chess Federation. Wow. And in addition, for about 7 years, they also voted or asked me to be the zonal president for the U.S. under the World Chess Federation. And through that organization, I traveled to FIDE congresses to Tallinn, Estonia, Abu Dhabi, UAE, Tromsø, Norway, Istanbul, Turkey. I forgot the other one, but anyway, five countries. I went to South Africa with the kids for a World Youth event. I went to Santiago, Chile. One time back in 2009, they asked me to travel to Belize, Central America, to train their tournament directors there. So, chess has given my son and me a lot. And for that reason, or for those reasons, I like to stay involved and give back whatever knowledge I have acquired through the years because of that partnership. They have recognized me. I was, in 2009, I was the U.S. Chess Tournament Director of the Year. In 2018, I got the Frank Marshall Award for my contributions to the U.S. chess at the international level. And in 2019, I received the Distinguished Service Award from the U.S. Chess, which is the highest award they give. Right, so it has given me a lot. And along those ways, of course, some positions paid, many of them paid. So in as much as my dad back in my early, teenage year was correct, forget chess and concentrate in studies, if he could only see, because he died at a very young age and he didn't see our son or me and what we did with chess and what we are in turn giving back to others. You mentioned the scholarships. My son, one of the fortunate ones that back in 2007, he went to UT Dallas on a chess scholarship. Eventually got a master's in electrical engineering and has worked as a senior engineer for many reputable companies, or a couple of very reputable companies. So yeah, it's amazing. I do remember, to your point of the sports, that when he won his first national championship, I went to school so excited. And I talked to the principal. I said, Mr. Principal, I forgot his name. My son just won a national championship in chess. And he said, oh, that's nice. And I went berserk. I said, what do you mean that's nice? I'm talking about national championship. Right. And I said, Mr. Principal, you have a football team here, don't you? He says, yeah. I said, if your football team wins a city championship, you'll be very excited.
You better believe it.
And if they win a state championship, it will be a holiday all over the news, the newspaper. Right. television, whatever.
That's right.
And I cannot imagine what would happen if they win a national championship. And then I said, you are here your job is to lead these young minds, develop these young students, and mainly their mind. What do you think develops the mind more, football or chess?
Right.
And then I proceeded to say, don't bother to answer. We both know the answer. But that said, I do recognize that, football and basketball and major sports, not only they have the name recognition, they have the support of the community, and the big paying jobs in the NFL or Major League Baseball and so on. So, as much as I love chess, I realize that it has its limitations, at least now, and it is the job of people like me and others to continue promoting the game so that someday soon, I may never see it, but not soon, but someday eventually, I should say, it might have the recognition that it deserves, because I think it does. I think one of your earlier points, what does chess do for kids, whatever, it helps develop these young minds, help them think, it teaches them strategy and so on. So it has a lot to offer. And that doesn't mean that all the chess players, many people consider them as nerds, if you will. Well, my kid played football in high school and all that. I mean, it's not, we have many other, we have well-known athletes, although I cannot think of any names right now, but we have some athletes that do play the game and they're very involved. So it has a lot to offer. And to that point, yes, in Texas, there's lots of room to develop and improve the game of chess, get higher numbers, if you will, but it's not about the numbers. It's about supporting these young players and teaching them the game. So,
right. Brother, that's an absolutely amazing, you've had an absolutely amazing career, and your experiences they're phenomenal. And, brother, I've always wondered why it just seems to me that chess is a natural for the K through 12. It's a natural.
Oh, yes.
It would seem to me that in college it would be a natural. I have nothing against the other sports. My father was a starting guard at his college for 4 years. We love basketball, but he was the one who taught me chess. And he was the one who encouraged me to pursue it.
Right.
And it just seemed like I just can't understand why, colleges and universities just say, well, of course we're going to have a chess team. It's sort of like KFC saying, of course we're going to sell chicken. I just don't understand that block, if you will, because you really don't need millions and millions of dollars to have a chess team at a college or university level. I imagine it'd be nice, but you wouldn't need it, but whereas with football, baseball, basketball, my Lord, you want to talk about expensive programs.
Oh, sure. And you get all these conferences, the Pac-10 or 12, whatever it is nowadays, and Southwest Conference and all that. It is well organized. And unfortunately, chess is not to that level, not even close.
Right.
And it will take a lot of effort and time to promote and develop chess to that point.
Yeah. I agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you, brother. Thank you so much. I hope we can have you on again sometime.
Sure. My pleasure.
And anything you can do to get us in touch with some coaches there at those universities and colleges you mentioned. I've noticed here, I've been teaching chess here in Louisville for about since 2010. And I noticed one thing that really gets some of the parents excited is when you talk about, hey, there's a possibility. Hey, there are some schools and colleges, universities that offer scholarships.
Right. Yes, they don't know.
They absolutely
know. Yeah, that's right. Chess scholarships. Yeah, and they go back to football or baseball. And I always say, you know what? Any kid, whether he or she be a football or baseball player or chess, has a very tiny chance to A, get a scholarship, and B, to make it to the big leagues. However, if you don't try, you'll never find out.
Right.
And the chances are slim anyways, but if they don't become chess players and join the U.S. Chess Federation and go to tournaments and so on, they will not get a rating. That they will not, you will never know how good they are, their potential. If I had not taken my kid to that first tournament, I would have never known his potential with this, they have to be given the opportunity to learn and to go to events and to develop those young minds.
You're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. Agree with you 100%. Brother, let's keep in touch. And folks, I just want to let you know, we just had some great time here with Mr. Francisco Guadalupe, president of the Texas Chess Association. Please don't just listen to this interview once. Listen to it several times. Share it with other parents. If you know anybody that has a child, niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter, I don't care, son or daughter, share this interview with them. He's given some great information here, and I just can't thank him enough for the interview. Brother, I will be in touch with you, okay?
Certainly, yeah. My pleasure.
Coach Corbin plans on traveling to Galveston County, Texas, in July to conduct summer chess camps. He is raising funds for the air tickets, room and board, and equipment. His objectives include planning chess programs in Texas and learning firsthand how the Texas Chess Association has been so successful in building an 11,000 membership base. The first 30 donors receive a free chess book. PayPal donation link is in the description.